Hey everyone, I am bringing you the absolute cutest tutorial today. I love these, and that is for these little woolly hats here. And to make these, there is no knitting involved, no sewing, nothing like that, nothing fancy. They are quite simple to make, and they just make these clay dolls look absolutely adorable. I love them. And also, you don't just have to use them for clay dolls. These would also look cute on wine bottle tops or champagne bottles. Like at Christmas, you could make a little Christmas hat and you could pop them on top of your bottles on the table. So these are a really good idea for all sorts of occasions. Just look at her. Don't she look gorgeous? I love it. So to make these, you need wool. Now, I got this wool from AliExpress. It is milk cotton. Now, because I don't knit, I don't really know about wool. I have no idea what milk cotton is, or if that's even a thing, because obviously these are from AliExpress. But basically, it is obviously a cheap wool because it unravels quite easily. Now, as I said, I'm not an expert in wool. I don't know if this is normal, but to be fair, this is actually ideal for me for what I want, because I'm making these hats with it. And I'm also planning on making clay doll hair with these, and I thought with these unraveling easily, these strands, these will be really good for clay doll hair. So this is actually ideal wool for what I want it for. It will be brilliant. So I've made a pink one. This time I'm going to take this lovely sort of ombre rainbow one, and I'm going to make one with this. So first of all, you will need a piece of card. I've just got this scrap piece. It's a little bit creased. I just got it out of my stash and thought I'll use this up. And I'm going to first of all mark a strip and cut that out. And you want the strip to be around 6mm wide. And that is for the rim of the hat. So you can make this wider if you want to, or you can make it even more narrow if you want to, but I wouldn't go any smaller than 6, to be honest, because you want a little bit of rim on that hat. So I'm just going to take this right across the card, because I can use this for a few different hats, so it don't matter for now. So I'm going to now go ahead and cut this strip out. So I've cut out my strip, and you want to now measure this against what you're making the hat for. In my case, it was for my clay doll. Now, I did this one slightly wider than her head, because as you can see, you get quite a lot of bulk from the wool around that rim. So it will need sort of an extra centimetre on there around her head. So I will hold this around her head, leaving around a centimetre extra on one side, and plus enough space to overlap it, to join it together. So I'm leaving a centimetre plus a half, so about there. Now the last one I cut to 9 centimetres. I'll just see if this is the same. So yeah, this is 9 centimetres to go around my clay doll's head. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off there. And then I'll keep this rest of the strip aside, because I can use that for more little hats. Next, taking a piece of tape or glue, you want to join the ends together. So I'm just going to use a little bit of sellotape. So I'm just going to chop off a little bit of tape. Make this into a ring, and I'm overlapping it by around a half a centimetre. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop my tape on there. And wrap that all the way around. So we've got this circle now, and just to show you the size of this circle, it is 2.5 centimetres or an inch round. So I'll just show you that now on her head. So as you can see, when I pop it round her head, there is around a half a centimetre gap all the way around, and that will give enough room for all of the bulk of the wool to go around there. And as you can see, that fits on her head nicely. If you want it permanent, you can glue these hats on, by the way, but I just left this one loose for now so I could show you. So now we need to cut our wool. I'm just going to set my clay doll aside so she's out of the way. And taking the wool, you want to cut loads of strands of this. I don't know how many, I just cut a load and then I cut more later on if I need it. So to do that, I've got a piece of card, and this is 12 centimetres across because this is the length that I want my wool. And it don't matter on the height, I've left enough height, so it's 7 centimetres in height, but I just left enough just so I've got room to wrap. So I'm just going to find the end of my wool, here it is, and I'm going to unravel some. And then finding the end, I'm going to line it up with my card so it runs along the 12 centimetres, and I'm going to wrap this now around the card, and this is the easiest way to cut it, to get all of those strands cut at once rather than having to cut one at a time. This wool actually feels a little bit different to the pink one. It's a lot thinner and tighter woven together, if that makes sense. So I think it depends on the wool you get, but yeah, this one is slightly different to the last one. If I show you it against this pink, as you can see, this is a lot thicker. So I might need more of this to make a hat. Don't pull it too tight so that you bend your card, because obviously that will make it shorter. So once you've wound this round several times, I'm just going to take this piece back up to the top. You want to slip your scissors, so I've got the pointed end here underneath all of those layers. I want to make sure that this piece is coming out, and you want to cut it flush with that end, and I'm keeping it pinched with my fingers here so I don't lose it. And we're going to do the same with the other end, and then you have lots of 12 centimetre strands, and that is the quickest way to cut them. I probably will need more, but this will be enough for now. We'll do some more in a moment if we need to. Going back to our ring that we made earlier, we're now going to start doing slip knots around this ring. So taking a strand, you want to fold it so you've got this loop, and then you thread the loop into the ring, and then taking the loose ends, you want to pop them through the loop and then pull it tight. So you've got this little piece coming round like that. I'm going to repeat that now on another piece just to show you. So fold it in half, and this time you're going to go in the same direction. So where you've got these tails coming out to the left, you're going to go in through the bottom and then bring the tails up toward the top where the other strands are coming out. So that way you're going in the same direction. And when you pull these tight, make sure the two ends are level. So when you pull them, they're evenly spaced in length. So they're all the same length like that. We're going to continue now doing exactly the same steps until we complete our whole ring. I will show you when I get near the end so you can see how to close in the last little bit of the gap. Like that. So I'm now going to continue and then I'll come back. So as you can see, I'm coming to the end now, and I haven't cut any more wool. This is the same pile that I cut originally, and I'm still using the same, so I haven't had to do any more. So we might actually have enough after all. So I'm continuing in the same way, folding it in half, popping the loop in through the bottom, and then grabbing that loop, threading the two loose ends in through the loop, making sure that they're both together level before pulling them tight. and then just sliding them over so that they are all nice and flush around that cardboard. Okay, so I think there's enough on there now. So this is all we had left from the last pile. We're going to keep one back because we will need this to tie. So at this stage, you now want to make sure that these are all nice and tight. So I'm just pulling on the ends and making sure the knots are tight. And then what we're going to do is flip all of this inside out. We're not going to flip the whole ring inside out, just these tail ends. So I'm going to just push all of these tail ends through. And then I'm just using my fingers and I'm just rolling so that these knots go towards the middle. And that just gives it a neater finish. And it makes this look more like a separate rim. So just rolling it with my fingers, rolling the knots towards the middle. And then I'm just going to neaten up these tail ends. And then once you're happy that they're all through and neat, I'm going to lay this piece now down and we're going to tie all of these together, so around halfway. So I'm just going to tie this in a single knot to begin with. Before I pull it completely tight, I'm just making sure that it is in the middle and even. Checking the other side as well. Then once you're happy, you can pull that really tight, as tight as you can get it, and then you can do that in a double knot. And next we're going to cut these strands to make them all nice and neat. So grabbing my scissors. Now to get them neat, what I like to do is flatten these out and cut them curved round. I'm including the tails of the strands that I use to wrap around the middle as well. You can make this pom-pom as big or as small as you want. And then I like to flatten it the other way, so I can really get that sort of pom-pom shape in there, rounded shape. And there you go, that is how you make these hats. Now, just to show you that if you have got a existing clay and you want to have one of these hats made for your clay, you can easily pop these on, so you can change the look of your existing clays. And if you want these to be permanent, you can glue these on the doll's head, or if you want to make them interchangeable, then obviously you can just pop them on like that and then change them whenever you like. But I am going to glue one of these on. This one I actually intended for her to have a pink hat, so I will show you how I glue these on. So to glue these hats on, I will decide what I want to be the front of my hat. So I'll look for the nicest part. So I think this side here. And then I'm going to pop some glue along the back of the hat. So I've got my hot glue gun here. I use the Dremel 940 hot glue gun. So I've got the hot glue at the back and I'm going to pop this on the back of her head, and I'm just pushing it down, but I'm just looking at the front to make sure I've got it where I want it to sit. And then I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue just inside the front here, and then bring that over and push it into the glue. Now if you want to add a little bit under the sides you can, but I think that is enough to hold that on there. And look at that, isn't that gorgeous? I know I said it at the start, but I just think these are so cute. So everything that I've used in this tutorial, as usual, will be linked in the description below. In this case, that will just be the wool. I do have some clay tutorials on my channel. I will pop the playlist for my clay tutorials in the corner here now. If you like this video, please do hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye.